I remember one time I was given a way talk when I was a ministerial servant. They'd sometimes send you to give talks at different congregations, and I was sent to a congregation that was only about 15 minutes away, which, by the way, they've sold that building, and the whole merger thing. They sold it, um, but that's a whole different story. But anyway, in this congregation, there was a brother that was a doctor. He was a physician. I think he got his training before he became a Jehovah's Witness or something like that, because as we know, that's discouraged. But anyway, he was a doctor. Very nice, humble guy. Never bragged about his money or anything like that. He was just a nice guy. He would help elderly people that couldn't afford doctors and stuff like that were in the congregation. He would go over and he would help them out as much as he could, being a doctor. But his wife, on the other hand, she was something else. She was the exact opposite of him. She's very boisterous. If they were together, she was the one having the conversations. He was quiet. She would always refer to him and her as doctors, even though she was just the wife of a doctor. She thought she was a doctor too. But anyway, I gave a talk here at their congregation, and afterwards, I was down by the water fountain, out in the by the main doors. I was holding my son, and he was probably like 3, 4 at the time. And she was out there, and she was watching this kid that was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6. And the mother of this child, her husband was not a Jehovah's Witness. She had several children. She would try to come to the meetings with her kids on her own, and of course the kids would act crazy and stuff like kids do. And so this doctor's wife, she was trying to help this young sister with the kids, but she was not helping at all. I was back there by the water fountain with my son, and she was back there with one of this sister's kids, and she was just tearing this kid apart. The kid didn't seem to be doing anything real wrong to me. He might have been a little rowdy out there in the main auditorium, but here he was scared to death with her, so he wasn't being bad at all. And she was beating this kid, basically. I mean, she kept hitting him, and I remember feeling like really awkward, like that feeling where you should probably step in because it was going too far, and but I didn't, because it wasn't my congregation. I was just a guest there, even though I probably should have still said something. But what really got me is she told the kid, this is the reason why your dad doesn't come to the meetings, because of how you guys act. This guy wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. He wasn't going to come to the meetings. It didn't matter what his kids was doing. And but that's what she told him. This is why your dad doesn't come to the meetings, because he don't want to be around you guys. And could you imagine what that kid's going to think when he grows up? He's not going to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore, that much I can tell you. Remembering things like that, where his mom, he let this crazy lady abuse him and say all these things. And if he's really thinking that that's the reason why his dad's not coming, he's definitely going to grow up and have some anger issues for sure. But it's just another example of abuse that kind of just goes on, like physical abuse, the sexual abuse, and these things are just hidden and pushed away. People are afraid to say something because it'll make their reputation look bad. If you're reaching out to a certain goal and you start trouble, you don't want to be a troublemaker, and so it's just a bunch of silliness. But anyway, that's the story I wanted to tell this morning.